So today I will be talking about four pillars of Looksmaxxing, like the most key, the most important, vital ones for improving your looks. And I've also done a bit of Looksmaxxing throughout my life. I managed to lose weight, improve my hairstyle, lose a bit of fat, as I said already. Get into the gym, right? So I've done quite a lot of things, with improving my looks, improving my face. But I've seen many fucking Looksmaxxing techniques that are just fucking stupid, like the towel method, or just taking this guanciale and improving your jawline or whatever, or mewing, that I think is okay. But listen, there are many stupid. Listen, when you're just type Looksmaxxing, and you're probably some ridiculous methods to improve your looks. When in reality, there are only four, and like the four that are going to have the better impact, the most, they're going to be the most influential on your self-improvement journey. There are going to be four. So without further ado, sorry for this mirror image here. I will try to fix it in the next video, alright? I will do my best. So the first important part is you don't see, but it is called fat loss. So, or you can say, if you are skinny, you can also say reasonable weight gain. But most of you are probably fat as fuck. So, but yeah, again, sorry for this mirror image. I will fix it. But fat loss is the most important thing for you to get from this is the most important thing for you to get out the, if you are, for example, like 2 out of 10, right? If you are, for example, 2 out of 10, then losing weight, getting skinny will improve your rating to like 4 or 5, 10 out of 10. This will drastically improve your looks. If you are a fat fuck, you're probably going to be in a range of 1 or 2. But if you're going to lose this weight, without going to the gym, you will get in like 4, 4.5, 5 territory, right? So you'll go from basically ugly as fuck to being average, and that's better than being a fat fuck or a skinny bitch, right? But yeah, every creator of Looksmaxxing, or whatever the creator of self-improvement, we're always going to tell you fat loss is going to be important, because you cannot be walking around with 20, 30, not be 20, like 25, 30, 35% body fat. You cannot be doing this as a fucking guy. You're not going to be respected by girls or guys. You're going to just live a shit life. You're going to have problems with walking. You're going to put so much tension on your joints. You're going to, as I said, you're not going to be respected. You're going to be the virgin for the rest of your life. You're going to be, well, maybe not. Okay, maybe I exaggerate, because there are probably fat guys who fuck, right? But you're not going to be respected. You will decrease your lifespan so much down the drain. You will probably die early. There are many fucking downsides of being fat. And as I said, fat loss is going to improve your, attractive. You're going to put you so much better. And from my own journey, as you probably see in the picture, those pictures, I've managed to lose, like, for example, I've managed to lose like 10 kilograms without counting calories. And that there was probably not 10 kilograms of fat there. There's probably many fucking glycogen just stored. There's probably glycogen, maybe some kilos of fat, But yeah, I've managed to do this, losing like 10 kilos. And also in my cut beginning of this year, I've also managed to lose 5 kilograms. It was probably 1, 2 kilograms of fat, and maybe rest of it was glycogen, right? But yeah, fat loss, as I said, is going to help you fucking drastically. Your testosterone is going to fucking, I don't know. When I was losing weight in this year, I I felt from myself. I felt more like a man. My voice kind of decreased, felt a little down, much more deeper. Um, there's so much benefits of fat loss, but as I said, most of it's the important for me is respect. You're going to be so much fucking respected if you're going to lose this weight, and if you're going to add gym into the equation, if you're going to add gym into the equation, and you're going to manage to do successful recon, in which we are going to talk, um, you are going to do yourself a great. You're going to do so much good for yourself. I can't even say how this is so important. I've already said it, but this is a prerequisite. If you are, for example, a fat fuck. If you're a fat fuck, I can tell. Listen, I can speak about, I don't know, improving your hair, improving your, I don't know, any other parts of your body, But if you're a fat fuck, improving your hair or improving your skin doesn't really do anything because, listen, this fat loss is going to help you with other areas of your life. If you're going to lose fat, your skin will improve much more. Your health will, your skin, your hair, your nails, your everything will improve so much more. And that's example for me. When I've done a cut, those like 2 months, my skin improved drastically. And when I stopped, you see, I have some fucking pimples. So I don't know. It's probably a genetic thing that I have to eat clean 100%. But yeah, if you're going to lose this fucking fat, you're just improved drastically. You cannot. I can talk about the rest of the 3 points here, but you need to first of all lose this. If you cannot start implementing those rest of the 3 points, if you're not going to lose that chunk, lose that belly fat, right? You cannot be fat in 2026. It's unacceptable. It's disrespectful not only to yourself but the other people who, for example, your mother, your father, or whatever. You cannot. It's just disrespectful for others. Disrespectful to God. Disrespectful to your ancestors. Were your ancestors fat? They probably weren't. So yeah, this is fat loss. The second point I'm going to speak about is training. I'm specifically talking about weight training because it's much more important here. But yeah, you need to be having some sort of physical challenge as a guy, right? If you just started like, for example, when it came to me, I didn't start at the gym at the first place. At my first journey with being physically active, I firstly started at home with taking this fucking drumstick, right, and the broomstick, and curling this and putting backpack here and curling this, or just taking water bottles and doing ladder raises, or taking my backpack, putting some shit there and doing ladder raises like that, or push-ups, But as I started to being more and more experienced, I of course got into the gym, right? And when I got into the gym, I experienced something that is called recomposition. And recomposition happens in two occasions. In the first occasion, recomposition happens when you are a new lifter and you are, for example, fat, right? I was skinny fat. I wasn't fat. I had some like chunk to lose, but I wasn't really. I didn't have muscle and I was chubby. So I've managed to, as you probably heard this title, lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. So it's basically recomp, lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. So I managed to do this. You just need to be in a just need to be in a calorie deficit and train, right? Fat is not going to turn into a muscle. Fat is completely a different tissue than muscle, right? Fat is just a reserve energy. Muscle is just, as I said, completely different tissue. But training is important. And you may ask, how much do I need to train? So when it comes to training, I would advise you to train. I will. So we'll put number here. Training. So ideally, not ideally, but I would say 3 to 6 times 6 times a week. And you may say, but Christian, tell me what should I choose? I'm not your father. I'm not going to decide for you. It depends solely on your life. It depends solely on your schedule. Depends what you have to do in a day. I don't know if you want. There are many different workout splits. But if you don't have, for example, if you cannot afford, but you just cannot go to the gym like 6 times a week or 5 times a week, right? And do push-pull legs, arm split, or upper lower. You can go to the gym 3 times a week and, for example, do full body workout. If you want to go to the gym more, you can do push-pull legs. You can do upper lower split, Arnold split, as I said, upper lower push-pull legs. It solely depends on your. It solely depends on your schedule. Training is the easy part because you just go and lift weights, and you will learn as you move, right? I don't. When it comes to training, I don't advise people to watch so many videos about training because training is just fucking easy. Focus on the movement like bench press, pull-ups, dips, whatever. You can do deadlift, you can do squats. There are some exercises are key. For example, when it comes to me, the key exercises are bench and squats. Like those are the exercises that I always have in my repertoire of exercises, right? But yeah, training is one of the easy part, as I say. I don't want you to overcomplicate things like Jeff Nippard or like Mike Israetel or any of those influencers that just overcomplicate things. No, go to the gym and lift heavy ass weights. Everybody wants to go to the gym, but not everybody wants to lift heavy ass weights, right? Go and lift heavy ass weights, and you will learn. You can learn about exercises, right? But just don't do stupid variations of exercises like, I don't know, laying ladder race, one-handed. When you're laying and you're doing like this, I'll probably put it like on the screen. Don't over-educate yourself on this topic, right? It's good to be educated, but when it comes to those simple things like training, you subconsciously know what to do, right? Yes, like those normal learn the basics. Basically, learn the basics, and you will learn as you move on. Just don't overcomplicate things. Overcomplicating things and watching too many YouTube videos before you go to the gym is not. Listen, you have to start. Don't do research before you go, right? If you're going to make mistakes, then so be it. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does it. Do you think that I don't make mistakes? Everybody makes mistakes. That's what makes us humans. That's what makes us a human being. That's what makes us a sentient being. Train let me repeat it. 3 to 6 times a week. Choose a workout split that works for you. And just be consistent and be patient, because building muscle is fucking hard. It's going to take to build an attractive aesthetic physique. It's going to take you 5 years in the gym, right? For example, I have gym experience in 2.5 years, 2 and 6 months, right? 2, 6, 7 months. That's my experience in the gym. So, for example, in the line of the gym experience, I'm a newbie. I'm basically in this line where I'm quite intermediate. I will probably become intermediate when I'm going to hit the year 3, right? but I'm still maybe not beginner, but I'm still quite fresh, no? But yeah. So the third thing we're going to talk about here, or four pillars of Looksmaxxing. Third, and I think the most important one is diet. Diet is important. Not just the diet is important because if you're going to eat like shit, you're going to feel like shit. If you're going to constantly eat some junk food or whatever the sweets, chocolate, or whatever the things that are in your house, or you are going to eat like some shit foods, as I said, you're going to feel like shit if you're going to constantly eat like this, right? And it's important with losing weight because diet is like, for example, when it comes to losing weight, diet is like 80% of results. Training, you can lose weight without training. It's not impossible. Diet is the key part. Calories are the important part here. If you are going to be in a calorie surplus, you're going to gain weight. If you're going to be in a calorie maintenance, you're not going to lose or gain weight. But if you're going to be in a calorie deficit, you are going to lose weight. And diet, it's going to be physical, but I would like to focus on the mental side of diet because I'm going to say it the third time. If you're going to eat like shit, you're going to feel like shit. You are what you eat. You probably heard this saying many times in school, but this is fucking true. It's not gonna like you're going to eat a bunch of broccoli, you're going to turn your broccoli head. No, of course not. But the things they are consuming on a daily basis will impact your life in the future. If you're going to eat a diet consisting of chips, sugar, processed foods, seed oils, or whatever the things that are unhealthy you can think about, you're going to feel like shit. But if you're going to eat the diet of consisting, healthy carbs like potatoes, rice, oats, of protein like chicken, fish, beef, pork if you eat it, fats like animal fats, lard, olive oil, nuts, right? Coconut oil. You're going to feel great. But you may say, Christian, what diet should I consume? I'm going to give you a couple of products, but you probably know what things are healthy and what things are not. So when it comes to carbs are going to be your main energy source. So when it comes to carbs, you are probably, if you are a fat fuck, you are probably full of fucking glycogen because you've been consuming so much food that is stored, that it's basically stored not only as fat, but it's stored as water. So you have so much fucking energy in your cell. You have so much water in your system because carbs, they turn into glycogen. Carbs basically are going to turn into glucose, which is a simple way of sugar. And if you're not doing anything with it, it's just going to store either as fat, if you're not exercising, if you're doing fuck all, and if you're a type of person who exercises, it's going to store as a glycogen. So basically water. So basically like energy in your muscles, right? So your muscles going to be a bit fuller, right? But if you're, as I said, if you're a fat fuck, you're probably full of glycogen, right? So carbs. So the main sources of carbs are, I'm going to name here to you. I would only name the most important one because there are many. So if you're going to only eat those carb sources, and I'm going to name rest of the macros, rest of the foods here, you're going to lose weight because try to fucking overeat on potatoes, okay? But I've already taken potatoes, great carb source, great carb source, very calorie, very dense food for low calorie. Boiled potatoes are like 80 calories per 100 grams. Try overeating. Try eating kilograms of potatoes. you're not going to overeat this. Oats. Oats are also a great source of carbs. Potatoes, oats, rice as a fast digesting carbohydrate, great before you are going to train. And then fruits and veggies. Simple as that. If you are going to eat those carbohydrate sources, so potatoes, oats, rice, fruits, and vegetables, you're going to feel great. Potatoes are going to serve as a slow digesting carbohydrate, slow releasing energy. Oats also those two are going to fill you up. Rice as a fast digesting carbohydrate, it's going to, for example, before training. Fruits and vegetables as fiber, so it's also going to fill you up. But it's also, with fruits, it's going to maybe not eliminate, but it's also fulfill maybe your sweet tooth. Vegetables as, again, a source of fiber, vitamins. So vitamins, fast digesting carbohydrates, and the slow digesting carbohydrates. That's going to fill you up. If you are only going to eat those 5, you're going to feel good. Your energy is not going to crash. So protein. Not only for building muscle, but it's also important for hormones and your skin, your nails, your hair. So I'm going to name a couple. Chicken, fish, beef, whey, and dairy. So chicken, depends what type of chicken depends what part of the chicken you are talking about. Chicken breast is not that calorically dense. It has some fucking protein. I quite underestimated when I was losing weight how much protein is in chicken breast. Chicken thigh, chicken legs, chicken wings. Depends what you want to eat. Of course, it has chicken breast is lower in calories than chicken wing or chicken thigh, so you have to take this into consideration. But all of the sources from the chicken are good. Fish, I'm mostly talking about white fish because they are not that fat dense, and they're also not that calorically dense. They don't have that much amount of fat. A great to calorie and protein ratio. But also, we are not going to forget about fatty fish, which we're going to talk about in fat section. But yeah, fish, for white fish, or fat fish is also good. I'm not demonizing it. Beef, also important, is going to have also healthy fats from animals. Also, so much fucking protein. Yes, it's gonna be quite calorically dense from chicken breast or the white fish, but still you should, regardless, eat beef. Whey protein or isolate, I forgot to say it. Whey is going to have much. Isolate, you can, if you are not lactose intolerant, I think you can eat isolate because it's mostly 98% or 94% protein. Whey is going to have things from milk, but those things, I would say, if you can hit your protein goals from beef, fish, chicken, or whatever the protein source, right? Tuna. Sorry, I forgot to talk about, but it's still fish. You don't have to, chuck in a bunch of protein shakes, right? If you can hit because whey protein isolate are they are supplement. This is a protein supplement. If you can hit your protein goal from the things chicken, fish, beef, from meat sources or eggs, I forgot also talk about eggs. Eggs also are incredible. There is no point that you should be eating whey protein and whey protein isolate. Dairy, so for example, like milk, cottage cheese. We can also add whey here, cheese, right? As I said again, if you're not lactose intolerant and if you can tolerate dairy, then go ahead and eat it. I heard that it might some digestive issues. It can also make you like quite pimples. It can also make you like, can also because of dairy you can also get pimples. Well, so well, have to try it for yourself, right? If you don't feel good after eating dairy, then don't eat it and just turn into a different protein sources like chicken, fish, beef, and eggs, right? So yeah. So fat source. So we're going to talk about fat sources here. Fat is going to be so much important for your hormones, so you don't feel like you want to jump off a bridge. So I would say we're going to talk about olive or coconut oil, fatty fish, eggs, nuts. What we can also add. I think with those four, you'll be all right. I'm thinking about other sources, but I think you'll be fine with that. With olive oil, coconut oil, fatty fish, eggs, nuts. If you can tolerate dairy, you can also eat. Get your fat sources from milk, from cottage cheese, from cheese. From normal cheese. So I will also include dairy here, full fat dairy. But yeah, those are going to serve as building blocks for your hormones and testosterone. We can also add meat here because the fattier parts of meat, fattier cuts of meat are going to also include fat here. But they're going to be drastically important for your hormonal health, so you don't feel like shit, right? You don't need to consume that amount of, if you're going to be on a cut, you don't need to eat that stupid amounts of fat. You don't need to eat 100 grams fat. You don't need to eat 100 grams of fat because carbs and protein, they have 3 calories per 1 gram, and 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. Yeah, 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. Carbohydrate and protein have 3 calories. So 1 gram, of course. So you have to watch out really for it. And how much you should be consuming this protein, as you probably heard many like this advice. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. If you are starting, will be, I think, enough. If you're going to be going to the intermediate levels, if you're going to have like 1 year, maybe 2 year gym experience, 2.5, you can increase it by like 1.5, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. I think you'll be fine. You don't need to overconsume that amount of fat. 0.3 or 0.4 will be about all right. Carbs, whatever you like. So yeah, use carbs before training. So that's my advice. If you don't have a training day, for example, you have a rest day, and you're only like, if you're only going to do cardio and going to do walking, you don't need to consume that amount of carbohydrate, right? Because you don't train. So you have to use carbs quite to be quite optimistic with it. But yeah, the last point here is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's 10. So I think that I'm quite genetically blessed when it comes to 10 because my aside from my father, right, they were quite tanned. So the only thing that I needed to do was just go out in the sun and just lay on the sun and just don't use any sunscreen, and I'll be having tans, right? If you have problems with getting tan, I don't have a problem with using like fake tanners or whatever, right? Just if you want to get a tan, but for example, your genetics, they cannot, their genetics make it hard. Genetics make it harder for you to just get tanned. Then use whatever it takes. I don't mind, using whatever it takes. If you want to get a tan but you have problem with it, just use a fake tanner. As I said, I think that I'm quite genetically blessed with tan. So I'm quite tanned. Of course, it's natural. I don't use any fake tanners or whatever. But yeah, I don't have any problems with it. And if you add to your tan, you're going to lose weight. You're going to improve your diet, so your skin, your joints, your joint health, your hair, your nails, your eyes is going to improve drastically, and you're going to be tanned. You're going to be jacked, and you're going to just have this healthy markers, right? To people that you are a healthy individual. You're going to be successful in life. I can already tell you that. So yeah, tan. So yeah, just you're going to like a fucking salted caramel latte, bro. I don't even need to add anything more. So what is the point of this video? I wanted to make Looksmaxxing, a bit easier for you. So to tell you those 4 points that are important. So diet, training, fat loss, and tan. There are probably many points that I have forgotten. You can tell me what other points should I be put on this chalking board. But I just wanted to make easier for you. I don't want to overcome. I'm not the type of person who overcomplicates things. You just need to do those simple 4 points. Get yourself a tan. If you have a problem, just use a fake tanner. Losing that bit of chunk, or if you're a skinny bitch, just gain reasonable amount of weight. Get in the calorie deficit, get into calorie surplus, eat healthy foods, and train hard as fuck. That's the simple way of Looksmaxxing. But those points, those are not the quick fixes. You are going to see results of those 4 points in the future, and they're not after one gym session, you are not going to be jacked as fuck. After eating healthy one day, you're not going to see any significant difference. You're not going to be tanned in like one day if you're going to do this like in the sun naturally, right? And as I said, one training and one day of calorie deficit is not going to make you lose stupid amount of weight. Those points, they're going to take time, but that's the point. You have to be patient. You have to believe. If you're not going to believe in yourself, if you don't believe that you can lose weight or gain like reasonable amount of weight, if you don't believe that you can eat healthy and again lose or gain reasonable amount of weight, if you don't believe that you can lift heavy ass weights, if you don't believe that you can look sexy and tanned, if you don't believe that you can reach your dream life, your dream attractive physique, then nobody else is going to believe in you. If you've lost belief in yourself, then nobody else is going to believe in you. You have to be delusional for those things to work. You have to be sometimes delusional. Rather, you have to be. Because if you're not going to believe in yourself, nobody else will. I always say this in my head. I will always believe. 1% chance, 99% faith. 100% faith, 99% chance, or whatever you want to say that. But yeah, those things, again, this is not instant gratification. It's delayed gratification. You're going to wait to see results. But once you have them, once you get those results, once you're going to see the results of your fat loss or your reasonable weight gain or You're going to, be stronger in the gym. Your muscles are going to be fuller, right? You're going to be sexy and tanned. You're going to have a dream attractive physique. Brother, you're going to set yourself for life, really. And that's what I want. And that's what I want. I want you guys to be successful in life. No matter, and do whatever it takes. Of course, don't fucking kill, rob people or whatever, but just do whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes to prove yourself. Because if you're not going to do it, nobody else will. Stay hard, boys, because nobody will save you. The only person who can save you is the person I'm pointing right now. Peace out.